Hello friends, I'm now going to show you how to set up a Zoom account and how to use Zoom. So the first thing you have to do is sign up, and you're at zoom.us, not zoom.com. You do not have to use your work email address. You can use a personal email address, or you can sign in with Google, or you can sign in with Facebook, whatever works best for you. So once you have an account, then you can set up meetings. So to do that, you sign in. I have multiple accounts, so I just signed in with my personal email. So to start a meeting, which would be a Zoom session, you click on Meetings, then click Schedule a Meeting, and then you could name your meeting. So let's say we name this one Pizza Party. You don't need to put in a description. So down here where it says when, you can put in a time. Usually what I do is click on recurring meeting, and then I click no fixed time. And the reason for that is because now the link that I'm going to get and the meeting ID that I'm going to get from this will let me use it all the time whenever I want. So down here, you can choose to have video on automatically or off automatically for both the host and the participants. For audio, leave this as both. The enable waiting room and the password are something that's come up recently because apparently there is Zoom bombing. Just go to the internet and search Zoom bombing. So in this particular case, apparently Chipotle was having an online session for people to kind of drop in and chat, and somebody started sharing inappropriate material. But I'm going to show you how to safeguard against that. So we're back in my account on the meetings page. So there's a couple of ways to safeguard against people Zoom bombing you, especially if you're going to share the link or the meeting password, the meeting ID rather. Don't share the password publicly. If you're going to share the meeting ID or the link, then you should require a password, and you can enable a waiting room. And if you enable a waiting room, it allows you as the host to really admit people into your room. The password should be sufficient. You can make a password, or you can use the password that they've generated for you, meaning Zoom has generated. Now, click Save. So what you're going to get is a meeting ID and a web link. So what you want to send to people is the web link, and you can also use the meeting ID. On a computer, I always just use the web link, but there is a Zoom app on the phone, and you can use the meeting ID to enter a meeting if you're using the Zoom app. The other way that you can invite people is copy the invitation, and then you'd put this into an email that you send to all your pals. But you want to make sure that it has the password. And again, don't share the password on Facebook or Insta or any of that stuff, because this is how, with the link or the meeting ID and the password, this is how you can get Zoom bombed, which you don't want to do because it'll just ruin your good time. So we're now ready to start that meeting. So we'll click Start. Then you're going to see it does a bunch of stuff. If you haven't used Zoom before, on a computer, it's gonna, I think, download something. So open your meeting. Does a bunch of connecting stuff. So you can test your speaker and your microphone like that. And then it'll see if your microphone is working. And then it'll see if... Okay, yes, I do hear myself. So I can join with audio. And now I'm going to maximize this. Actually, I'm going to... So you can see at the bottom here that my mic is on. So if I'm muted and other people can't hear me, I would be muted down here. And it tells you you're muted if you're making noise. So I want to make sure I unmute myself. And I can start my video. It's me! It's a little weird to look at yourself on video though, so I'm going to turn this off. And then you can see at the bottom that I have a waiting room. So there's somebody waiting for me in the waiting room, and look, it's me. So I can admit me, and that feedback you're hearing is because I logged in on my phone through the Zoom app, which I'm turning all my volumes down so you don't hear that craziness. So now, if I had my video on and there was a bunch of us in here, then you would see us all and we could all talk to each other. You can also invite somebody while you're in the room. Say somebody calls you and you're like, oh, hey, join my party. Click on Yahoo Mail. It'll have you sign in, or whatever other kind of mail that you have. Oh, look at this. Someone else is trying to get in my meeting. So if you don't know who this is, remove them. I happen to know who this is, so I'm going to admit that person. And now I have another person in my chat room. So other person, you can leave yourself on mute and you can leave your audio off. Hello, other person.
Hello.
So you can mute yourself, or if I don't want to hear other person, I can mute him myself, which I would never do under normal circumstances. So I'm going to show you a couple other things. You can chat with people. So if something happens to your audio, or you just want to be cute and send a private message, you can do that. So that's just going to that person privately. Or maybe you want to put a link in here. And that goes to everybody. One last thing I'll show you. I don't think you need to record, but one last thing I'll show you is you can screen share. Oops. So to screen share, you actually have to have the files open. So to screen share, I'm just going to open a file like I normally would. So I'll show you some cool stuff I've been doing for school. So you can see this on my screen now, but it's not in my Zoom screen. So I'm going to go back to that. So in Zoom, if you wanted to show your friends maybe something you're looking at on a website, or something kind of cool that you think is cool. I think acid-base balance is cool, so I'm going to show my friends that. When you click on share screen, you can see that my motor neuron picture is there. And the other thing you can do, so I'm in Paint and I could do this anyway, but if you don't have a touch screen, you can click on the annotate button, and then you can do all sorts of kind of cool stuff here. Go, ooh, look at that. Look at that neuron. She's beautiful. Or you could do something like, woo, I heart neurons. They're so cute. And glial cells. I know you guys, this is fascinating, right? Or you could say, yeah, look at that. That is a beautiful axon collateral. Now, I can share that, or keep it rather, or I could just clear it. So I think if you guys like shared screens, you could probably actually play like Pictionary together through Zoom. So I'm going to stop sharing this one and show you. I'll share a different one, right? So I have documents in here that could be shared, or I could show you what's in my files. But I could show you this video, and then I could actually play it.
pH is basically a function of hydrogen ion concentration, or hydrogen means higher acidity and lower pH.
Yeah, chemistry. And then I could stop my share. I didn't have any puppy pictures on this computer that I could show you, but I know you heard one in the background. So I think everybody has my email. But if you have questions, don't be shy. Ask me and I will help you figure it out. And when you're all done, you might see people leaving your meeting, or you end it. It's kind of like opening your front door and being like, nice to see you, but get out now. Oh, so Julie just left. Mr. 70120 is still there. Apparently there's more stuff I can do with him. So if I had to leave, I could make him the host, and then he could take over even though I'm leaving. But as the host, I am going to end the meeting. And again, if I leave, it'll end the meeting, or I can end the meeting for all.